College is important. They work hard to reach their goals. They're excited about their future. They think it's important to set high goals. But then when they get to, I can believe I can make a difference in the world, and statistics go down a little bit. But again, it's still a pretty good number. The role of parents. My parents care. My parents like the school. They think college is going to college is important. I would like my parents to attend more school events. Drops way down there, right? They don't agree with that. That's kind of an interesting. Let's talk about focus groups. I talked about a minute ago the reality, bringing the adult reality, the student reality together. So we had focus, we did a survey, we get the data back. And so we put together groups of students to sit with teachers. So this happens to be a group of 8th grade girls. They happen to be sitting with 2 of their 8th grade teachers. And so when they talk about school as a welcoming and friendly place, I like my friends, nice teachers, students weren't answering anything about the physical aspects of the building, the idea of the building. I'm not proud of the school. Why isn't 38% proud of the school? It's cold, it's ugly, it's poor. So again, that perception where they're not proud of the school maybe has nothing to do with the learning, it's really more about the facility. Comparing being accepted versus bullying. Bullying is going on. For girls, don't forget, these are girls answering these questions. For girls, it's more psychological, rumors, people talking about you and whispering, backstabbing. For boys, it's more straightforward, they just say it to your face, you're dumb. When asked about bullying in the middle school versus elementary, much more than in the elementary, it's the age. My sister says it goes away in the high school. Middle school is where we find out who we really are. In middle school, kids are worse to people. Heroes. Teachers care about you. They care about grades, not feelings. I think they do care. They don't care. How do you know if they care? If they talk to you, if they help you with work, even if they aren't your teacher, if they help you. Do students respect teachers? Well, it depends on the teacher. Academic teachers are respected more than others, like music. If the teacher respects the student, then the student respects the teachers. Kids follow the rules when they respect the teacher. How do you know if a teacher respects students? If the teacher is mean and picks on someone, some teachers act like they don't like kids. Teachers don't have to be nice, but they need to listen to show they care. Do you have a teacher that could be a role model? Yes, yes, no, no. It goes back to the respect question. Students respect each other. Depends on how well they know someone. Kids that are different aren't respected. There is bullying. I put undecided on this. I put undecided on half of these. When asked why she responded, because I don't know what other people are thinking, like other kids and other teachers. Fun and exciting. Teachers have fun? Some, yeah. Is school fun? What is fun in school? The teachers joke and talk, the games, the groups, group work, the teacher switches it up. Teachers encourage you to be creative. Sometimes, some teachers are creative, sometimes teachers can help us be creative. What is creative? Not regular homework, posters, stories. Do you feel comfortable participating in class? I hate presentations. I don't want to do them again. So, again, you know, when you sit down and you really get the kids involved in some of these, looking at some of the data and getting them to conversations, you can begin to flush some things out. So what we did, based on the survey, a big part of our school improvement plan has to do with the idea, the concept of personalizing the environment. The 3 parts to our improvement plan is a leadership part, there's an academic and instruction part, and there's the environment part. So we've looked at setting some goals. We talked about creating small units within the school, going back to a team focus. We talked about flexible scheduling and grouping patterns. And we talked about a well-articulated plan to create that sense of caring, the student aspirations within our school. In a very practical example, this year we've changed 6th grade a little bit. and we've changed it so that it's housed on the second floor, science included. We've had the sixth grade teams set up now to be 2 4-person teams and a 2-person team. On each academic team, there are fewer students. Sixth grades have their own bathrooms. Sixth grade has a 6-period day. Seventh and eighth grade have a different schedule, so that there are no bells any longer. Sixth grade, for the most part, it's a school within a school upstairs. So we're looking to really break down the barriers and get back to the team sense. We have had a couple of professional development workshop days already. We've had some guest speakers in for the kids, and we're continuing to work on the other structures that we need to create a positive learning environment. So that's a real quick overview of that survey. Are there any questions?
John, you gave us, on some of the survey questions, you don't have a comparison of the, I don't see a comparison of the specific bullying question. I think we had, what was the total, 51%?
52% roughly.
What-
agree that bullying is a problem.
Is there a national average on that? Because I
The
don't.
national average is very close to that. We actually, Clearly as Institute, they've given the survey across the country yearly 750,000 times, so they have some pretty good data. And so when we look at the national numbers, the bullying number is very close. I think the national is like 48%, if I remember correctly.
And I think the principles that you've listed here to try to start working with some of the goals, try to start working on these issues, I think are excellent. And obviously, it's going to require a lot of work on the two of your parts, but also hopefully we have, budget and resources that can support that, because I think everybody knows that this is probably the 3 most difficult years of school for our kids. And if we get them off from the 8th grade in the right direction, I think it solves a lot of issues moving forward and creates real positives. So I think we need to look at these goals you've set, and hopefully we can start seeing some of these we put into place. But I think the response is excellent, the ideas.
Oh, what's the timeline for the focus groups and for coming back with the follow-up presentation?
Well, the thing is that right out of the box last year, okay, to do a survey like this, there was some interesting conversations about putting the survey out there and having the students take it. I actually talked to some students today, and we got onto the topic of the survey, and we actually even caught some of the students off guard a little bit with giving the survey. So again, the first time through, we broke the ice, so to speak. We've opened up some very interesting conversations. We've looked at the data. We established some focus groups last year. Heading into this year, of course, again, the school improvement plan reflects some things that we're trying to do. We basically started out with the infrastructure, changing the schedule, team concept, focus. We're bringing some, some professional training in with regard to bullying and harassment. But again, we've just barely scratched the surface, just getting the conversation open. And, we revitalized our handbook this year. We've changed some procedural things that we're doing specifically with bullying and harassment. Our school model this year is respect, responsibility, and community. It takes time to change a culture. So again, I would say that even when you look at the data, we've just, in that very first, sense of self-worth, the idea of belonging, heroes, and accomplishment is really what we're focusing in on. So again, we're going to go back to the survey. We're very anxious to see how the high school survey comes out, because our 8th graders are now in 9th grade. It'll be interesting to see how they respond, compared to the data we have. So.
Thank you very much for bringing that
You're
survey to our schools. I know that you will not spearheaded that. Thank you very much. And thank you, Patrick. Hope you're
Yes.
enjoying
Very much so.
with us. Great.
Yeah, we have some teachers I was able to observe who have actually started working some of the bullying vocabulary and language into their classes. And Ms. Meyer's class I observed was really wonderful. I had something to hand out. I'll just pass that around for you to check out. They came up with the class activity actually culminated in an anti-bullying code, where the kids kind of, in all of her classes, came up with a code for self-respect in the culture of that classroom. So it's really wonderful. So those are some original materials they've made at 6th grade.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda, I'm going to skip because we have, I'm going to skip down to number 4 because we've got students here and John Bernard here.
Yes.
Do we have a request, Dr. Manville, for some new
Oh, we do.
clubs?
Ms. Bernard, we have a request, I believe, you have, if you don't, I have copies of them. This is the one for the Adventure Club. And, we also have them for the French Club and the Art Club.
John, do you wanna come on up? You have kids with you? Well, are these kids here for the art club?
I have students from each of the three
Okay,
proposals.
whichever you would like.
So I want to leave them, we'll do the French Club first, the seven.
I know.
Hi.
Thank you for giving us an opportunity to present to you tonight. We do have, I'm very excited to have 3 new club proposals for you, all of which have been generated by student interest. So it's always nice when our students take the initiative to bring about new ideas and come to me and seek my help in bringing them to fruition. So in all 3 cases, I've worked with the students to develop a proposal. You have one for each of the 3 clubs tonight. And Sarah and Kevin are prepared to talk to you about their proposal, which is the French Club. So I'm gonna turn it over to them to speak to you just briefly about that, and we'll all kind of answer questions that you might have. Okay? So this is Kevin Newhall and Sarah Zamaro.
So, we all give you packets, I think. And that has our mission statement and the goals of our program. And really what we want to do is more explore French and Francophone culture. And Francophone is like the French-speaking countries that aren't France. Like in class, we really just like learn the language and we don't get too in-depth as the culture. So we want to have the club to explore the culture more. We're thinking about having activities like French movie nights, food nights, and maybe at like meetings have homework help or watch movies or anything.
And also we want to reach out to the community and encourage ethnic and cultural diversity, not just to students, but to others in our community as well.
We have club for everyone that we have at the school, so I think this is great. Even Latin, I know. I love the English club. Julius Caesar was the advisor on the Latin club, I think. That's how old I am.
Does anyone have any questions for the kids?
I think this is a great idea. I think it's fun to have the culture.
Wow,
That's great.
that's impressive.
And Mr. Martin and Ms. Corrett will be great advisors also, so.
Yeah.
So now you want to make a motion? Move to approve?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, it's a go.
That was easy.
That was easy.
You guys are very persuasive.
Yeah.
How can you say no to that? They're
Thank
kids.
you. That's great. Maybe we'll do the, thank you guys. We'll do the art club next, is that okay? And I have Isha is here, Isha Kane. Isha worked very closely with Miss O'Brien as a middle school art club student. And she first approached Miss O'Brien with the idea of seeking her assistance in bringing an art club to the high school. So Isha has done a lot of work. She's flying solo on this proposal. She's done a great deal of legwork, and so she has a nice proposal for you too.
Okay, so our proposal is to start an high school art club where students can work together with their peers in an art studio that's like very calm, and they can create their own artwork. And then here they can like use their own styles and use different mediums where they're comfortable with, or they could try new ones too. And then it would also provide like where students could like work with other students and have their like blend their ideas and work together. And what I've seen before from the middle school art club, which started 3 years ago, which I was a part of for 3 years, like it's grown a lot too because there's a lot of interest in art. And I feel like since our middle school has it, and like everyone who went to the middle school, they come to the high school and they're like, where's the art club? So I feel we should really have one there too, where we can like, everyone can get together and like have their own portfolios and create their own artwork. And it would also, there's a lot of communities, like community artists who can come and help the students and like teach them, oh, this is a